Good morning, lovely day, the sun's out. It helps a bit with your lockdown, guys. You're still doing well, keep hanging on in there. One thing I'd like to say is enjoy your gardens where you can today. Maybe help Mum plant a few flowers or whatever you can do. Dig the borders, mow the lawns, whatever. I try and avoid jobs like that. I'm not a keen gardener. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with today's question and answers. Yesterday we set 10 questions. I hope you got the answers. We're going to do them now. That's the first thing we'll do. And then in between giving you these answers and today's questions, we'll meet another animal. Right, are you ready? First question. What is a mammal? What is a mammal? Okay. You might not have all this, but if you've got the most of it, you've got the gist of it. It's an animal that breathes air, obviously like us. He has a backbone, a vertebrate. So he's a vertebrate with a backbone and basically a skeleton. And many grow hair. Not all, but many grow hair. Remember the hedgehog? Hair on the tummy? They're also warm-blooded and most produce milk to feed their babies in the early stages. So that's a mammal. That's a rough guide to a mammal anyway. What is a reptile? Quite opposite really. It's another vertebrate, so it has a backbone, it has a skeleton. It looks different, but it still has bones, it still has a skeleton. Most have dry, scaly skin, and most lay soft-shelled eggs on land. Not all. Some reptiles give birth to live babies, and by that I'm thinking of things like the boa constrictor. Reptiles are the opposite to mammals. Reptiles are cold-blooded. Okay. Name 3 mini beasts. You could go on forever with these guys. There's thousands and thousands of them. Remember they're invertebrates, the opposite to the first two, so they haven't got a backbone, okay? No internal skeleton. Thousands in the world, all doing little jobs, and I once read somewhere that if all the mini beasts in the world were wiped out, we would all die as well because of the jobs they do. Right, let's list a few. Are you ready? Spiders, snails, slugs, beetles, centipedes, millipedes, worms, earwigs, caterpillars, butterflies, and many, many more. I think you'll get the gist of it from those answers, all right? Question 4. What is an amphibian? Again, a vertebrate with a backbone. Usually have smooth, moist skin and can live on land and in water as adults and can breathe on land and in water as adults. They usually have 2 pairs of limbs. That's 4 limbs, okay? Most of them have webbed feet, yeah, for swimming. They also have what we call unshelled eggs. Now, when I talk about that, think about frog spawn. It's not a shell, it's an unshelled egg, okay? Next one was a bit harder. I hope you did your homework on this one. Can you list the life cycle of the butterfly? Quite complicated, but very, very interesting if you want to know where these animals fit in together. If we start with the butterfly, okay? The butterfly lays eggs, usually on plants. You can find them on plants, tiny, tiny little eggs. Those eggs hatch into a caterpillar, and that's called the larva, or the larval stage. So that's where your caterpillars come from, yeah? The caterpillars then turn into the chrysalis, or the pupa. Now when you see these things hanging up in butterfly houses, that's the pupa. And it's from that pupa that the butterfly will emerge. And the whole thing starts all over again, and we get the butterfly laying eggs, the eggs hatching into the caterpillar turning into the pupa, and the pupa is what the butterfly hatches from. It's a complete cycle, so it's a life cycle. Right, number 6. Are all types of snakes venomous? No. In fact, the majority of snakes are not venomous. I'm not sure of the exact percentage, but the vast majority of snakes are not venomous. They can still bite, and the rule applies: if you see one, leave them alone. What is a baby kangaroo called? A bit easier for you, this one. It's a joey. And obviously mom kangaroos and marsupial, so the Joey lives for the first few weeks in mommy's pouch. How many different kind of snakes are there in England? 3. That's all, 3. Some countries have hundreds, we have 3. Name the snakes that live in the UK. Quite simple. We've got the adder, or viper as he's sometimes known. We've got the grass snake, and we've got the smooth snake. Those are the 3. That's it. The adder doesn't live in Northern Ireland or Ireland, so they've only got 2 snakes. But over the rest of the UK, Wales, Scotland, England, you'll find adders. Are any of them venomous? And which of them is rare? The answer to that is the adder is venomous. The grass snake and the smooth snake are not, but they can still bite. But the adder is not, the adder is venomous. Make sure you get that right. The rarest of the lot is the smooth snake, and he's only found in counties in the southern part of England, like Dorset. Very rare and a protected animal. So that, guys, are the questions for today. So, today's animal. It's a reptile. But it's not a snake. It's not a lizard. It's certainly not a crocodile. But he's a character all the same. Let's meet Dougie the tortoise. And here he is. And here's Dougie. Isn't he lovely? Very friendly. He's held a lot, as you can see. He never likes to go on his shell. And he has one little pet love. Are you ready for this? I don't know if he'll do it, but we'll try. If I scratch him on the head, watch. Oh, there he goes. Just look at that. He loves his head scratch. Can you see how he's lifted his head right up? Look at that. Oh, you love that, don't you, Dougie? Stop. Let him go down. Scratch your head. Oh, come on, not right. Here we go. Oh, he just loves it, doesn't he? Just look at that head go. When I bring these guys out, I normally say to the classes, who can tell me what it is? And one of the answers I get a lot is turtle. It's not, it's a tortoise. Turtles live in water and come on land as well and have webbed feet for swimming. These guys have claws for digging through the ground and the sand. They don't live in water at all. They might drink a little bit of water, but they certainly don't live in water. I'm often asked, how do you tell the difference between a boy and a girl? Quite simple. Well, if you've got 2 together, it's quite simple. And you see Dougie's long tail right out there. Very, very long. Yeah. The girls have a much stubbier tail. And the underside of the shell is called a plastron. And if you rub your fingers at the back here, you'll feel it's concave on the male. That means it's shaped like that. Only a little bit, but it's shaped like that. Now, the reason it's shaped like that, and this is where I'm going to get you mums and dads involved, is to help the tortoise mate. For sitting on the back of the female like that. I'm not going into any more detail on that, guys. That's up to your mum and dad to tell you a little bit more about that, not me. So there's how you tell the difference. This one looks like he wants a trim on his beak, which we'll do today, because he's going out for the first time onto the grass in the sunshine. He's a tortoise that hibernates. But not all tortoises hibernate. Don't ever make the mistake of hibernating tortoises if they don't. And the answer to that, and the reason that happens, is this is from a temperate climate. This is a Horsfield tortoise. He's from cold winters, so he hibernates because his food source dries up. If he's from tropical climates like South America and Brazil, he wouldn't hibernate, because it doesn't go cold and the food is still there. So never, ever, ever try and hibernate a tortoise from tropical climates. You'd think he's a herbivore, wouldn't you? Only eats plants. You'd be right. But there are tortoises that are not herbivores. They eat a little bit of insect material as well, worms and things like that. In particular, I'm thinking of the redfoot from South America. Loves a bit of worm and other things, does the redfoot. This guy is full grown. He's a boy. In tortoise world, guys, with probably one exception, and girls, you're going to like this one. The girls are always bigger and stronger than the boys. That's it. It applies. That's what happens in tortoise world. So let's have a look at Dougie. We'll just give him another head scratch to put him away. And there he goes. He just loves that, doesn't he? He's lovely, isn't he? We love him to bits. Trimmed up beak today, Dougie, and then out onto the grass. Okay, that's that, the tortoise for the day. Now, somewhere or other, I've got today's questions, and here they are. Are you ready? Let's go, work on them, and tomorrow we'll meet another animal and have some more questions. I've made them a bit more general today, so you should have a bit more fun with them. What's the largest big cat? Okay, think about that. 2. Are bats mammals? We've just done the answer to that. Warm-blooded, grow a little bit of fur, etc. Is a dolphin a mammal? Now there's a tricky one. Think about that one. What's the fastest land animal in the world? And I mention here land animal. It's not the fastest animal in the world, but it is the fastest land animal. What do you think it is? True or false? Snakes have slimy skin. True or false? Crocodiles use their mouth to release heat when they're hot, like we sweat. What do crocodiles do? Do they use their mouth? Number 7. What food makes up nearly all of the giant panda's diet? What do you think he eats most? Number 8. What is the largest land animal in the world? Probably an easier one, that. See how you get on. Is a shark a fish or a mammal? Number 9. Is a shark a fish or a mammal? And number 10. What are female elephants called? What are female elephants called? That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make a note. I'm making a list of some of the words that we're using in these questions. At the end of the day, I'm going to let you have this list, and they're words you've discussed and learnt and hopefully can remember. And believe me, if you can remember some of these words, by the time we've finished our sessions and you go back to school, you'll have a head start on the other people when it comes to talking about some of your animal projects. So we'll get that list together and we'll see how we go at the end. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thank you very much. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye.